The key aspects of a course. So this is, again, a little bit of the slide that Dr. Terrell spoke about earlier, that every course has got some key aspects that you need to be aware of. The first one is its credit value. Now, someone asked just now about the matrix. That was the graphic that Dr. Terrell displayed where you got to see all your courses. Most of the BTC courses have got a 12 credit value. Now, sometimes what happens is we have students coming from another institution and they want to do some prior recognition of learning. They say, I've done a Bachelor of Biblical Studies. And when we look at their course weighting, we realize that some of their courses were maybe only 5 or 6 credits, so only valued in the education realm at half of our credit value. So most of our courses are credited at 12 credits. There is one that is 24 credits. That is the Specialized Research and Writing course in the 4th year. And then there is also a 6-credit course in the first semester of the 1st year, which is a Research and Writing course. So the credit value is important. The second thing is to know whether a course is compulsory or is elective. And so Dr. Terrell spoke a little bit about that. All the biblical studies, all the systematic studies, and then the church history courses are compulsory. And then there are electives, which we'll look at. And then the pass mark is 50% of the course. So what you will see when we get to your course directive and we explain how that works, what you'll see is that every assignment is weighted in a certain way and the exam is weighted. So maybe if you do 3 assignments for a particular course, maybe one assignment will be weighted 20%, another assignment will be weighted 40%, maybe another one is 10%, and the exam might only be 30%. Don't check my maths on that one. But you will be able to see then the weighting of every course, of every assignment in every course, and then which field of study it falls into. And so what you will get when you go onto Schoology on Monday morning and you go onto your courses, and Sakho will speak about Schoology just now, every course has got a course directive. This is like the menu of the course. In the course, you'll have an introduction. It'll tell you what the course is about, a course description, the objectives and the learning outcomes. And so the objectives and the learning outcomes are really helpful because it'll help you at the end of the course, especially to know, did I actually accomplish what I set out for it to accomplish? So if the objective of a course is for you to preach a more biblical sermon, at the end, you'll be able to go, okay, do I preach more biblically now? Then it has a list of resources that you need. So the resources are often the course material that we give you, as well as there might be some additional books that you need that you can get off our website. Then there's the assessments and evaluations. What's happening here? Okay, we're back there now. Is my slide back up for you?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
This is very strange. Thank you. There is the assessments and evaluations. That's the part which tells you which assignments you have to do. And it also gives you the deadline of the assignments. Now, we have quite a strict policy in terms of assignment deadlines, because you know of your assignments right up front at the beginning of the year. On Monday, when you get your course directives, you will know immediately which assignments you need to do. Because we are not primary school children, we're adults, we assume that you're able to manage your time. And so we don't have a lot of grace in terms of late assignments. And you'll be able to see on your course directive that for every day that you are late, there is a penalty, points that will be deducted. After 5 days, we no longer accept the assignment, and that will often have an effect of you actually failing the course. So please make sure that you spend the first couple of hours right at the beginning of the semester charting out your assignments for every course, making sure that you've planned your time so that you meet those assignment deadlines. Very important notes. It explains the course credits and then tells you how to get some assistance and some support. At the end of your 3 years or your 4 years, however long you're studying, you want to graduate. And so what we're going to do when we get to that point is Sakho Emma, who is our academic administrator, actually has to go through every one of your courses, every one of your results. And she has to say, okay, does Is Dr. Sithole, is Simeon, is Nolwazi eligible to graduate? And these are the three things that Sakho is going to look at. She's going to see, have you got sufficient credits? In other words, if you are graduating with a Bachelor of Biblical Studies, have you completed 360 credits worth of study? If you're doing the BTH honors, have you fulfilled 120 credits for that year? Then she's going to look at, have you completed all of the required courses in a major field? In other words, if you chose mission studies in the second year, have you done all the credits that you need to under missions? If you chose youth, have you done all the credits under youth studies? And then have you done all the compulsory courses in biblical studies and systematics, church history, and then also in the language? What we would hate to happen is for you to study for 4 years, thinking that you're going to graduate, and then Sakho has to call you and have that awkward conversation that says, but you actually didn't do the first year biblical studies course. And then even as a fourth year graduate, you can't graduate because you haven't fulfilled the requirements. I do need to say that we are in the process of moving on to some new software at BTC, which my understanding is that it will give you your overview. You'll be able to go onto the dashboard. You'll be able to see what courses you need to do, which courses you have done, which courses you haven't done. That has been a pretty manual process up until this point, which has been quite painful for the academic office, because as you can imagine, with 300 students every year, it's very tricky for us to make sure that all of these are accomplishing what they need to do. So that is going to help you in terms of knowing what you need to do. I see Sakho popping on there. Are you wanting to say something on that, Sakho? Okay, you're just showing yourself in your office. Thank you. Then the next slide that I want to take you to is the battle for academic integrity. And the reason I like the word battle is because, if we don't have integrity as Christ followers, we have very little. And it is very important to us as a college that we are producing students who have completed their studies with integrity. And so we take plagiarism very seriously as a college. At the moment, what we're saying, especially in light of AI popping up, rearing its head, it is very easy for you to go and just pop in an assignment topic in AI, let it produce your assignment, send it through to us. And so we don't allow any AI currently. In future, we are going to try and see what we can do to assist you to actually use AI as a tool rather than a mechanism to cheat. But in fact, this morning I saw someone post this in relation to AI, and I wanted to read it to you because I think it is so significant, and I might even share it on the group later. It says this, the writer writes and says, I was watching an interview and the interviewer was asked about AI software, specifically ChatGPT, and its impact on education. He replied that ChatGPT isn't about learning. ChatGPT is about avoiding learning. And then the light went on. Recently, I was in a discussion with a peer group about an article written by James Marriott for The Times. He's basically an art school dropout that never spent any real time developing his skill to become an artist. And now he's bitter that he's not successful and that artists with real skill are gatekeepers to his success. To be honest, it was a very entitled rant that demonized people who have worked very hard to hone their crafts as elitists and prestige squatters. In his article, he welcomes AI image generators because he thinks it levels the playing field between his mediocre efforts and those snobby gatekeeping artists. And that's where the connection hit. AI image generating isn't about making art. It's about avoiding making art. Let the computer do it. I'm too lazy to log the long emotionally wearing hours. I'm too impatient and entitled to listen to masters. I'm too self-absorbed to spend my time laboring over a work that requires me to use sophisticated critical thinking. Let the machine do it. AI image generation isn't about making art. It's about avoiding making art. And I think the same can be true about theological study. AI generators is not about helping you study and helping you become a better equipped minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, but it's actually about avoiding that. And it's about avoiding doing the work that is actually going to equip you to do the things that you need to do. And myself, having been in ministry for 22 years this year, there have been times where I've been able to stand up at the pulpit, stand behind a microphone as I lead worship, conduct a wedding, conduct a funeral, where I've been able to do it with such confidence because I've put in the effort, I put in the hours. But if I'm honest, there have been times where maybe my week was a little hectic and I wasn't able to prepare well. And so maybe I used some resources from the internet, maybe a few too many resources, or I went and listened to someone else's funeral message and I used and adapted that a little bit. And in those times, I didn't feel confident because I knew that I was just duplicating what someone else had done. And there is an element in ministry of the Spirit of God working through us, working in us. And when we sit at our desks and we, let's take it away from assignments, and we have those commentaries open and we're digging into scripture and we're preparing a sermon from scratch, and we're allowing the Holy Spirit to speak to us and to minister to us and through us, when we're able to bring that word to God's people, there is an authority and there is an anointing upon that. And I would hate for you to ever lose out on the authority and the anointing of what God has for you, because it is easy to just go into AI and do something like that. So in a sense, there is a policing mechanism that Sahu, I think, will speak to just now, called Turnitin, where we check that you're not plagiarizing, that you haven't copied anything. But I want to ask you that you would commit, even right now, between you and the Lord, that you will never do that you will never plagiarize, that you will never have your academic integrity questioned, that you will never have your sermon your sermon preparation questioned, but that you would actually be faithful to what God has called you as a man and a woman of character and integrity as you pursue the things that God has for you. And so that's my sermon to you this morning, that you would be able to do that. I think the last thing from me is just to speak into our student hub and our information. We have someone made reference to our new website. We have updated the website and we have a student hub page on there. There are three places where you should be able to find all the information you need. The first one is on the student hub. We're gonna do our very best to make sure that anything you ever need is on the student hub page. So bookmark that page, go to it when you're looking for something. The second place is the WhatsApp group that we have referred to. If you're not on the Distance Student WhatsApp group, could I ask you to scan that QR code and you'll be able to join that WhatsApp group. We'll let you into the group. The third place is our learning management system, which is called Schoology, which is where you're going to be doing all your course work, where you are going to primarily, I just want to check, I think my AirPods have died here. You can still hear me. Saku, you can hear me. Yeah, okay. Where you are primarily going to get your information from your lecturers and engage with your lecturers will not be on the student hub. It's not going to be on the WhatsApp group. Your interaction with the faculty, with the lecturers lecturing your courses is going to be on Schoology. So that being said, I'm going to stop sharing now and I'm going to introduce you again to Sahu, who you met a little earlier. Sahu, as you heard, is our academic administrator. She is so much more than that. But Sahu is going to talk you through Schoology. I would even recommend, if you agree with the Sahu, that students who are open, have their computers open right now, maybe even log into Schoology and maybe even try and do that with you. But yes, let me hand over to Sahu.
Morning, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen. And do a guided video of how Schoology works. A lot of you by this time would have received an email from me with your Schoology login details. So I'm just going to run you through how the system works. But just to explain a little, that Schoology is the learning management system that BTC uses. So this is where all your learning and teaching is going to take place. So there's no emailing of assignments or posting them, but you are going to submit them on a digital platform and all your learning material will be available there. So I would advise that you install it on your smartphone devices. That's your cell phones and your tablets. And once you've done that, to also enable a notification so that any updates that your lecturers make, you are very much aware of. So for those of you who've already received your details, I believe at this stage, everyone, you're going to then log onto the platform. And what's going to happen is, this is the dashboard. So the first place you want to go to is to courses. So once you click courses, this indicates all the courses that you've selected. So you must ensure that when the semester starts on Monday, that you are enrolled for the right courses. If not, please contact us or myself on academics@btc.co.za or schoology@btc.co.za. So your courses should appear here, the courses that you've selected. And once those appear there, you're going to click onto the course. And this is pretty much how most courses look like. Some will probably have more folders, but this is the standard folders that are available. And the first place you really want to go to when you open Schoology is the course directive, because like Mark said earlier, this is like your course menu. You want to open the document. You can download it to your respective devices so that you're able to access it offline. And also, if you are enrolled for more than one courses, it will be great for you to have all your course directives in one place and start scheduling your assignments. But I'll get to that a bit later. So you're going to open the course directive and you're going to read it, because if you don't read it, you're most likely not going to know what's going on in your courses. So the course directive gives you the details of what the course is. It gives you the course introduction, the course description. And in the course introduction, you'll see that there's the name of your course lecturer. And then it also tells you of your course objectives and learning outcomes. And then it also will direct you and tell you of what resources needed for that specific course. And then the most important part of the course directive is the course assessments section, because this is where all your assignment requirements are written. So, for example, this is youth ministry and it has 4 requirements. And the first requirement is a research assignment. So there's quite a number of details for this research assignment. So it tells you that the due date is March 13th, 2024. And then it also gives you the word limit, which is 1,500 words. It also gives you a number of bibliographic references you can use. And then it also has the assignment topic. So what I generally advise students is read your assignment questions, because your questions guide you on how to start writing your assignment. So let's just go through this specific assignment question. So the topic is youth ministry and the church. And what the assignment is saying, it says, present a well-researched paper on the dynamics and problems that are presented by the post-COVID era for youth ministry and the church. Use the following to help formulate your research and your assignment. And then these areas are: investigate the problems faced by young people, investigate the problems faced by young people in the post-COVID era. Investigate the problems faced by the main body of the local church in the post-COVID era. Discuss opportunities for the church to grow a thriving youth ministry. Present your vision and mission. Develop a principle and practice towards a relational youth ministry.
Sorry, Safo, I think your screen is frozen on our side. So if you have moved down on the directive, we can't see that.
Oh. Okay, let me just stop and share again. How's that?
There we go. Hallelujah.
Okay, so let me just read through the assignment question again. So the first requirement is a youth ministry and church ministry assignment where the lecturer is asking of you to present a well-researched paper on the dynamics and the problems presented in post-COVID era for your youth ministry in your church. And the facets to look at in your assignments are investigating the problems that the youth face, as well as the problems faced by your local church, the opportunity to grow a thriving youth ministry, and a presentation of your vision and mission statement, as well as developing a principle and practice towards a relational youth ministry. So now this is how you need to then jot down the points that the lecturer mentions in the question, and that guides you really on the material that you should be gathering. And you're also guided by your bibliography. So already you know that you're going to look for other articles or book that address youth ministry in post-COVID, youth ministry and the local church. So you're already now able to be headed towards the right direction of researching for your assignment. And then the process of starting to write your assignment starts. And then I'll just touch on the assignment writing a bit later. And then just as you scroll down on your course directive, you'll see that the second assignment is due on the 24th of April, and you still apply the same rule of reading your assignments and so on. Requirement 3 speaks about an online discussion, and I'll show how you do an online discussion. And requirement 4 is your examination, and we will be making an examination timetable available for you. And then just further down on your course directive are important notes. So these are details that you should know for your late submission for assignments and some of the penalties. Basically, these are things that you should be reading to know what not to do and what to do. And I think important notes are generally just telling you that prepare your assignments well on time. Don't plagiarize. We have a plagiarizing and AI policy here. And then also on your course directive, there's course credits that are stipulated there, as well as your course assistance communication or helpline details. So once you've read your course directive, you then move on to the folder course material, which is really, these are notes that your lecturers have compiled together for you, especially distance students, to sort of follow what the contact students are doing in class. The course material is broken down into lessons. So we've got lesson 1 to lesson 12. Generally, these are the teaching weeks that a lecturer will go through the sessions with the contact students. So as a distance student, this is helpful for you to follow the different lessons at your own time and at your own pace so that you know what students are covering in class. Some lecturers will also make available some PDF or PowerPoint slides for you. And I see already here there's lesson 1 and lesson 2 available.
Sorry, it looks like it's frozen again.
Okay, I'm just going to share it again. How's that?
Sure, great.
Yeah, so that's the course material folder. And then there's your essential guides folder, where you will find the assignment writing guide, which is a very useful and helpful guide for you to refer when you're writing your assignments. You also find your BTC calendar, and also there's a cover page in the essential guides folder. And the cover page is really a page that every assignment should have So what happens is when you're writing your assignment, you just download this cover page and you insert your details over here. And there's also an integrity commitment column where you are basically saying that you, in your assignment, you've referenced other people's work and you haven't used another person's work as your own. And there's also a plagiarism check percentage, which is a percentage that you would have generated from your Turnitin submission, which I will speak to you in a few moments from now. I hope I'm not going so fast. You're welcome to stop me if there's something that I'm rushing through and you're finding a little bit confusing.
I did see a hand up just now. I don't know if that was just to, I can't remember whose hand it was, but maybe that was just about the freezing.
Yeah, sorry, that was mine.
Okay.
Just for the freezing of the screen.
Okay, so now I spoke, of course, online discussions. So for online discussion, a lecturer will post an online discussion for you to contribute to. And for example, in this course, the lecturer is asking, what are some key characteristics, challenges, and aspirations of today's youth? How can we better understand and connect with them in our ministry? So online discussions really operate like a Facebook post. And what you do there is you just answer the question in an academic way. So they're quite informal, but formal in a sense that it still has to be a well-researched response. So you will then write your contribution and post it, and you're generally also marked on how you are engaging with other students' posts. But this will be very clear because then your lecturer will tell you exactly what it is they need from an online discussion. This is just a question that I had created for this session, but you'll see that, say, in your class, there'll probably be 30 or more students, and 30 of them would have contributed their thoughts on the topic, and you are to generally, they mark you on your initial contribution as well as your comments on other people's contributions. So this is how online discussions work. And then we also have some Schoology videos. So whatever it is that I'm doing with you now is available on Schoology for you to access in case you want to know what Schoology is, how to navigate, how to submit your assignments, how to submit Turnitin, and other cool features for you. So you can also consult the folder for you to just learn how to navigate the platform. So now it is the 9th of March, your assignment is due in a few days, and you have been working on your assignment the entire month of March, and you're ready to submit it. What do you do? What you do is you're going to come to the folder Turnitin. So Turnitin is a similarity detection tool that helps you guard yourself from overusing other people's work as your own. And how do you really avoid that as a student? I often say that Turnitin does not necessarily police you whether you're plagiarizing, but it actually reminds you that, you know what, I've used someone's work a little bit too much. For example, if I'm reading Dr. Terrell's article on ethics, and there's just a page that I liked so much because he's really just made a point that I really want to make on my assignment. What students often do is they'll take what he said and want to copy and paste it, whereas in academic writing, the principle is you read that section that you love so much and you understand it, and then you put it in your own words. And once you've put it in your own words, you reference and say, this is Dr. Manikam's work and not my own, and this is how I've understood him to say. So what you've done is you've read a document or you've read a text and you've interpreted in your own words. However, you still honor the author by saying that this is their idea. And what you're then doing is you are engaging with the text in a critical way or in a way in which you understand it without using the words as your own, as well as recognizing the author. So that's really what Turnitin and academic writing entails, is that you are going to be using a lot of literature, but you need to read it and interpret it so that the lecturer knows how it is you understand the literature that you are engaging with. Anyway, after that little speech, so now your assignment is ready and your research assignment is ready, and you want to then submit it on, you want to submit it. So what you do is you open Turnitin on that particular assignment that you are to submit it on. So I see that our Turnitin is just a little bit problematic. So I'm just thinking maybe I should open the Mark, should I do the online one or should I just run through?
Yeah, you can do the online one if that's going to be helpful.
Yeah, okay. So just want to show you how the Turnitin submission works. So I'm just going to go through. In page. So you come to Turnitin. There's already an assignment that has been submitted. So you submit and you source the document from my computer. I'll just find a document that's relevant to me. You upload it. Remember, you must wait until the document is fully uploaded so that you can submit it for it to be checked on Turnitin for similarity. So this is the document that has been uploaded, and then you click submit and the process of checking will begin. You'll see that it will say processing. You find that in other cases, the process will say processing for over 10-15 minutes. Should that go on for longer, I urge you to go to another submission page so that you can have your assignment submitted, so that you're not delayed or your time is not wasted, because you may be needing to make a submission very quick. So you patiently wait as the document processes. Or you can make yourself a cup of coffee. So the document has completed its processing process, and what you see here is that the similarity is 27%, according to BTC standards. Okay, so after you've submitted your assignment on Turnitin, it will generate a percentage for you, and the percentage is really an acceptable percentage that we've standardized for every student at BTC, and that is anything under 30%. So what we're saying is the acceptable percentage for similarity on Turnitin is 30% and under that. So if your assignment comes out with 31%, you need to go back and reduce the amount of cutting and pasting or quotations or words that you used verbatim to someone else's text, so that you can reduce the percentage to 30%. So it can sometimes be a back and forth process when you're running it on Turnitin. But once you've generated your assignment and it is less than 30%, then that means that the assignment is ready for submission. And then you come to the folder course assessments. Let me just do that again. You'll come to course assessments, and then you'll come to research assignment. And then on the further right, you come and say submit assignment. And I always say this is such an easy step. If you're able to attach a document on your email, it's really that principle. You come to this little box here that says file, you click it, and then you attach the document and you upload it. Once it's been complete, then you submit it. You'll see that it will say it has been submitted on time. So if your assignment was late, it will also indicate that you have submitted your assignment late. So what then happens is that after 2 or 3 weeks, or once the lecturer has notified you that they've marked your assignment, a little pop-up message here will come and you'll see that your grades have been marked. Or if you have notifications on your smart devices, it'll notify you then. So then how do you go back and check your assignment feedback? You come back to research assignment still, and then you will come to your assignment and look at what the lecturer has said. And this is such an important component of your writing of assignments, because you really want to know what are some of the mistakes that you've done and areas of improvement. So you'll come and look at your document and look at the feedback that you've been given. And then you're now well equipped for when you're writing your next assignment, what not to do or what to continue doing. And you'll also then see that your grade will appear there out of 100. So yeah, I think I've pretty much covered what the folders really function. And you'll see that generally in each and every course that you're enrolled for, there's a little pop-up calendar here that shows you what are your upcoming assignments. And you're also able to view your grades on a larger scale over here and see a detailed feedback of how your grades look. You're also able to look at the members of the class that are in there. And also, there will be different communication that your lecturers communicate on a daily or weekly. So it's important to look at your notifications and read those together with your messages. And yeah, I think I have pretty much mentioned what you will be doing almost on a weekly on Schoology when the semester just starts get going and all your assignments are almost due. And on the dashboard, you'll see that there's different communication that's happening either from the registrar or the academic administration. And, there's also upcoming assignments that will be displayed here. And yeah, and at the end of the semester, if you need to download your report, we will send out an email that your reports are ready for downloading once your marks have been aggregated. So you'll come to grade report, which we will give you steps on how to do that. And then you'll come and say download student report. And then you'll click on the different years and semesters that you've been enrolled for so that you can see all those marks. And then you will click next and select everything. And your report will then be generated. And then you can download this and show it to your loved ones and save it as a PDF and show it to your loved ones, how you've performed during the semester. So I think I've pretty much tried to summarize quickly and in a nutshell how you will be using Schoology throughout your studies. And look, the videos are available on Schoology if you need any assistance, but we're also available. I'm available. And yeah, it's a very easy platform to use. And I always encourage students to log on at least 3 times a week so that they are kept up to date with what's happening with their assignments or any communication that their lecturers may be making and stuff like that.
Thank you. Thanks, Saku.